Hello and welcome to another stream. Hope everybody is doing good. Hello and welcome to another stream. Hope everybody is doing good. Today we will be creating our multi-to-do list. We started it at last stream. For now we have a to-do list created. You can add some text, you can refresh. We have some funny loaders. And you can change the priority, and it has authentication. So we go to out/logout, it automatically logs us out. And now we can check our log back in and see our items. So this stream will be creating a multi-to-do list. So this means that we can create multiple to-do lists. So we could have a to-do, complete, personal, whatever you want to call it. Next to that, we also have an option to show your loader. So if you press, if you type the command !loader, you get Looty files and a form. And with that form you can insert your own loader. As you can see it really quick here. And will be added at the end of the stream or halfway after a break. But so you can give it your own touch and be part of the app. So if anyone have any questions, feel free to ask them. And let's get started. So the first thing I do is open my terminal and open the project. And then we do .NET watch run. This allows us to to automatically refresh on updates, so we don't have to build it every time. As you can see, the loader now takes a long time, but that is because of the backend is not running. So we can fix that by running it through Visual Studio. Give it as a moment as it's starting. Now it's running, so if we refresh, you can see that it now works. So if you're new to the stream, feel free to drop a follow, as I created a pretty cool follow alert, in my opinion. So yeah, this is the state of our current app, and let's get working. So last stream we ended up at creating the add to-do list. So this allows us to create a new to-do list and a get. And the pages for that are... give me 1 second. Fixing a small mistake. Yeah, now we created the get. And the page is here. It's the overview. And it's /todo/overview. So if we go... Oh. Localhost /todo list/overview. So we now can add new lists. So new lists, and we can also, it's getting saved in the database, but the edit button does not work yet. And that apparently doesn't work. That just created a new one. So let's work on that. So now we'll be making sure that we can edit an existing to-do list. And I'm gonna copy the code of the previous update, as we just have to update the entity and a few other things, but most of the code is already made for this update. To-do list function. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And let's stop the function, as Visual Studio likes that better. So update to-do list function. I was hoping it would let us import all. Yeah, import missing. So let's fix those namespaces. And let's fix this function. So if you're in the chat, feel free to say hi. It's greatly appreciated. And you let me know that you are here. Update to-do lists. So now we can use this in our function with a put, and then we need to map it to a to-do list entity. We set the ID and the E tag needs to be set, but we also need to change this one. So we need to create a new model for this. So let's go to the to-do list Models. Let me see if I can find it. Models is empty. Oh, it's in the shared, of course. Sorry, that's pretty stupid. So let's create a new model. Update to-do list data. I see Otto404 in the chat. Thank you, I believe you followed 2 days ago. Really appreciate it. How are you doing? If you have any questions and about this project or about Blazor, feel free to ask them in the chat. Yeah, so we want to update the ID and the name. Yeah. Or we want to get by ID, but yeah, you know the point. Request body dot update to do list data. Hello, Lieselotte. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing? But we're getting the user here. The list ID is not this one. You're awesome as always. Very good to hear. Thank you for joining the stream again. As the list ID is sent. Looking forward to learning more stuff here. That's always good. And let's hope we can do it. So today we'll be adding multiple lists to the... so you can have multiple to-do lists. Yeah, so this should be the user ID and this should be the partition key, yes. And we still need to create the map, as not every name is the same. So let's go to AutoMapper and we're opening the to-do list profile. So let's create a new map. To-do list. Update to-do list to to-do list entity. For member. Let's not use X, but use Destiny of Dest. Dest dot Roki options dot map from, and then we have the source, and then the source dot ID. This should allow us to map everything. So that should work. Let's start it and let's see if we get any errors. And after that we'll add it to our front end, so the endpoint. It's booted. Oh. I'm destroying my overview screen. You can see that we have the update to-do list. So let's start working on creating the front end for that. So if you want, Lieselotte, you can type, or I can type it, loader. And that allows you to create a loader that we'll be using here. So you can go to lutyfiles.com and submit the form, and we'll be adding it at the end of the stream or halfway through the stream. We'll be adding it. So, yeah, I was afraid I did it in the wrong one. Yeah, so just go to the site, lutyfiles.com. We can open it here. And then you can find an animation that you like. Let's see, make sure it's free. Some are paid. I'm not want to spend a lot of money on it. But yeah, you can see it here, and then does it display the HTML? Oh, it wants me to log in. Sure. Yeah, then you see the... Then I need this link. And if we open the form, we need the URL, a catchy name, so that will be the... Are you talking to me? And your username, so I know who sent it in. And I'll be adding that to the underlying text. So you'll be forever in this app. So let's continue. Let's go to our service, to-do list service. And let's create a function called updates. To-do list, to-do list. And we can just call the HTTP service post async post void. I don't care about the response. API slash, and let's call the function name function constants that updates to-do list function, and let's send the to-do list with it. And we also need to edit this to our service. So that's pretty easy. Just copy the return type name and the parameters, and add a semicolon behind it, and then it's available on the interface. So now we'll be opening our to-do list overview page. new. We don't have an update yet. So public void update models.todo list to-do list, and let's call the service, the to-do list service dot update, and then we of course insert the to-do list. That's pretty easy. But now we also need to check our Blazor view, as we call a new to-do list, and that isn't correct. So let's fix that to update. So now if we run this and open this, give us a second. Yeah. Now it shows our lists. Let's add a smiley. It doesn't create a new list, but it also doesn't update. So that's a problem. Let's see if we go to our update to-do list, what happens. I see it already. The table storage is the wrong table storage. We're saving it to the to-do item instead of the to-do list. So let's do a reboot and see what happens. Still didn't work. Let's add a breakpoint. Update to-do list item. That isn't triggered. So let's check out why that is. To-do list service. Does this create? It's not found. Update to-do list is not found. I know the problem. Ha, that's pretty silly. If we go to the to-do list service, I did a post instead of a put void async. So let's reboot and see if this works. So refresh. And now it gets triggered. And now if we refresh, it saves it. So cool. Now last thing is to delete the list. And this has one particular thing on it that we also wanna remove all the items that are linked to that list. to keep the data clean. So if you have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to ask them in the chat. So now let's grab So what I will do now is go to our functions, go to the delete one, and I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it here, as we can reuse a lot of it. We do want to change the name, the delete list. Let's fix the namespace. And let's fix the table storage. And let's fix the route. Hello Tessie, welcome. You're early today. How are you doing? Good to see you. So let's change that name. Delete. Todo list entity. And the ID is from the URL. So that's pretty cool. Now we do want to create a service to delete the other ones. So let's create a service for this. So let's open our Solution Explorer as I closed it. Services, that add new class, and we call it to-do item service. So Tessie, if you like, last stream we added animations to a loader, but we created it dynamically so that we can add other ones pretty quickly. And if you want to contribute, you can go to lootyfiles.com, and I'm not sponsored by the way, but it's a pretty cool site. You can look for an animation, and then you need the URL to it, and insert it into the form with a catchy phrase and your username in Twitch, and then we'll be adding it to the loader pool. So let's continue. Let's create a new function. Tessie asks, do we also have to start animation also? I'm not sure what you mean. But if you go to the Looty file, here you can find like the recent. And if you, for instance, think this cow is pretty cool, you can copy this this URL, and you can go. Oh, no, not yet. We can do that in. So if we have an animation at the start, not yet. It's still pretty the lazy loader, but maybe at the end stream or on Tuesday or Wednesday stream. Those are all. It shouldn't be too difficult. I believe we have a new person in the chat, Bloodluster. I hope I spelled that or say that correctly. Welcome to the chat, and how are you doing? We're currently working on creating multiple to-do lists, and now we are adding a service to delete those items. Let's I need the iCloud table factory. I also think it's a good idea to do all database calls in our services instead of our functions. Cloud table and Tessie says, thanks for the inspiration with the Looty animations. I didn't know it so much better than GIFs. Definitely gonna use it in my apps. Yeah, they're pretty cool. We could also like now we just have them on repeat, but you can also do fun stuff that if you click a button, there comes confetti out of it, and you just run it one without looping it, and after it disappears again. If you're interested in that, we can also do that. Let me know. To-do list. No, to-do item cloud table. And then we want to say the equals cloud table factory dot create cloud table. Table constants. Table storage constants. And then the item. Deletes all items with list ID. String list ID. Let me see, how are we doing this? checking the user, retrieving. It. Let's see if we can delete them all in one go. Azure table storage delete by partition key. Oh. Dynamic this is probably isn't easier than what we can do. So dot execute query, new table query dot where let's copy this. So this creates a table query that checks on the partition key and on equals and then the list ID. We also could remove all those items or remove that code and public void get. Now we get an enumerable of to-do item entities. Get all for list ID. Let's fix this namespace. And copy this. And let's go back to our service. To do item service in the Azure. And this should be, of course, we need to add a parameter, list ID. Tessie, I heard you had some PRs on John's game. Did he write such garbage? Or was it okay? And did you like adding some? Yes, in the set game, yes. Or did I hear that wrong? Dot delete. And let's retrieve this. Var to-do items equals get all for lists. List ID. Just added the PWA capabilities, fuse chatting, nothing special. Ah, cool. That game is really fun to play. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think it's based on a real game. I believe I played it once. Table operation, delete. Oh, we just need to do execute. Query. Let's check the delete. Let's see, execute. Oh, it's not execute query, it's execute. My bad. Welcome, Commander Root. Welcome back to the stream. And another TV viewer. I believe you were watching from the start, but thank you for watching. So now we created two functions, so let's make an interface of this. So I use ReSharper for this, and I can just extract it as an interface, create a new file. Next, let's go here and move it. Move to another folder, and let's put it in interfaces. So everything stays consistent, and now let's add it to our startup. Builder.services.add scoped. To-do list. To-do item service. To-do item service. So now we can grab that one here. To-do item service. And let's insert it from our constructor. So once we deleted that, we should also delete all with and that should be the ID as the yeah, the list ID is the list of the ID of the user, and the ID should be the list ID of the one we want to delete. So that should work. And what I also want to do is update the get items for to-do list. And instead of using the cloud table and the cloud factory, I just wanna use the service I. If anyone in the chat has any questions or thinks I'm doing a bad job and I should do something else, that's also fine. But make sure to let it know in the chat and we'll try to fix it. So now we can remove this and do get all items for a list. And now this is the list ID. To do items, to do list equals weights. It's not a weight? Oh. Why not? I think can we not do execute query? No, apparently we cannot do it async. That's fine. So now let's add it to our service. So to-do list service, and add the function delete to-do list. List ID. Delete async. Function constants that delete to-do list plus slash plus list ID. That should work. Let's start it. And then I see that Lisa Jojo added her request for the loader in it, and I'm really curious what it is. I don't think we are calling it from our component yet. Is this still broken? No, okay. To-do list. Oh, it should be slash. Thank you, Tessie. But we're also not calling it yet. And we didn't add it to our interface. Delete string list ID. Delete to-do list.id. Make sure that everything is restarted. Tessie says, how's your day job doing? Are you converting something in Blazor? You probably meant it in the past. My day job is pretty good. Gonna give an other presentation about adding Blazor into your existing MVC app in February. And I also wanna check if I can make a YouTube video from it, or separate from it, but also make that and post that on my YouTube. But yeah, the last few days I added some more checks, alerts and stuff, and to get more errors, or know when the errors happen. And we're looking at the Azure front door. Delete. We still, let me see, to-do list function delete. We still need to change this one. So not much Blazor related, but still pretty fun, and I think that will be in the future. But we're a pretty small team, so I don't always have time to do those kinds of stuff. Oh, of course, reboots. How about you, Tessie? Any work with Blazor so far? Not found. Nevik, welcome back. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Didn't touch my work in 4 days, enjoying the winter and snow instead. Nice, that's also really good. Didn't do much with the snow, but there wasn't too much snow here, so let's see if we can find out. Delete to-do list. So we're calling the API slash delete to-do list, and then the ID. And then we get a 404. Route slash ID. Nevik says, I'm good, thanks. Blazor is pretty amazing. That's good to hear you're enjoying Blazor. I really love it. And Oh, it just didn't respond. Oh, okay. Just needed to restart, I guess. 404 not found. Let's see what goes wrong. To-do list table. Nevik, if you have any questions about Blazor or anything else, feel free to ask them in the chats. And if you like, as you can see, we have a loader for when our page is slow. And if you like to add your own, you can go to lootyfiles.com and find one you like, and then fill it in the form, and then you will be added to the to-do app forever, or I'm not sure forever, but for a really long time. Cloud table, to-do list entity, 733 4. If you see, check here, you can, it's this one. So I'm wondering why that doesn't work. Retrieve to-do list entity, partition key, and a row key. Huh? What the hell? Delete. Let's debug this. Yeah, so that's pretty stupid. I checked if it was that type, and of course that wasn't the case, as that was the to-do item. So that's booted up correctly. And now see if it all works. Delete. That is correct. And that's also correct. That's cool. Yeah. That's a pretty good point to add someone to the loader. I got one response so far. So if you want to add your loader to the mix, go to the URL in the chat and find one. And then yeah, we're really big. And then copy this URL and post it in the form that's also posted in the chat. So let's go to the loader service, loader component, factory. Go to yeah, sure. I also wanna add this, and we'll add it in the UI later, but string username. Let's do that correctly. Username equals username. Let's edit. New loader item, and the text is run away. Do. And let's hope this works. Submitted by Elisa Jojo. So let's see if we can find it. Are you talking to me? The burger, the taco. Of course we're not gonna find it, as we didn't update our randomizer. Oh, it's a shark. Pretty scary one, if I would say so. So I'm gonna take a quick break, grab something to drink, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you, Lisa Jojo, for the €4 tip. It's really appreciated. What? Me. Fix this here. Let me see. Okay, close this one. Tineke, welcome. Oh, you didn't put a message in, Lieselot. So let's go back to our main screen. How are you doing? I'm doing very good. Hour in the stream and it's going good. If you like, you can go to the lutifals.com and search one for yourself and submit it to the form, and we'll be adding it later this stream. Lisa Jojo just added the shark, and I think that we should also add the names to it. So let's do that really quickly. Go to the loader component, the razor. Let's copy most of this and then the username. How are you doing, Tineke? Let's find out anything special happening. Let's check if we can. It was font.bold. That's correct. These ones are submitted by me. Let's find the shark. Is it a baby shark, Liz Jojo? Yeah. Pretty cool. So let's continue. Also, as Lisa Jojo didn't tipped while I was gone, I'll replay the animation again. As what do you guys think of the animation? And Lisa Jojo is a huge fan. That's really cool. Yeah, it's a cool guy. So let's continue with our multiple lists. So now that we can create multiple lists and that we create multiple lists, we should also make sure that the items get assigned to one and that we can manage them, as there's not a part for that. It's more that my daughter is a huge fan. Yeah, you always had that number stuck in your head and tried to put it on us. So let's open the main layout. And let's go, sorry, the nav menu. Ah, yes, I miss those days. Well, how's the study going? Almost done? Or still far from it? Seems to work. 5 exams next week. Well, I'm happy that I'm not studying anymore. Cool, that seems to work. Afterwards a little hectic, and then towards the summer an internship somewhere. It's quite looking forward to it, actually back working instead of studying. Yeah, I can imagine. Let's see. So this is the list. Are we not using the list GUID anywhere? Nope. So we're just looking at making sure that when you click one of the list, that you get the correct one. If you're in the stream and you're enjoying it, feel free to leave a follow if you aren't already. So let's go to let's make a parameter of the list GUID and make it a string. Stop debugging. What does this do? Go to implementation. I think we can remove this as it was old. save. And of course this needs to be made public. So this means we're probably gonna need to update all the functions for the single to-do items, but that should be fine. Let's go it. So let's start on the backend. We can do this pretty quick. Oh, not view the request. Sorry about that. Public string list ID. So now when we create a new list, we also want to send the list ID. But I also want to create a new service, and we are gonna create that on our function. The Azure, no, not Azure, sorry. To-do list service. Public bool can user access list and we got the close this and this client principal. Can user access this list? So this is gonna allow us to check it. If the user is allowed to check to look in the list, basically. So let's read only a cloud, not cloud table. If you're in the stream and you're new, feel free to type something in the chat. It's really appreciated. Also, for the people that were here last stream last Wednesday, I received another challenge from Twitch, or completed it. I now had 5 people talking at the same time. So doesn't seem much, but it's pretty cool. Only need 10 more follows and I get affiliated, and then we can create a subscription box and emoticons. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to the emoticons mostly. Cloud table is the factory that create cloud table, and we wanted the storage table stored constants, that to-do list table. execute query, new table query. Wait, I did it in the last one, and it's this one. Well, not exactly partition key. Now we're gonna check on the row key. Row key. And we should bring list ID. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I'm always struggling with this thing. New table. Oh, I still need to make a table query for it. And then the list. I need one more. List equals if list dot wait, I only need to get one item, don't need a lot of them. Get to-do list. Those are all of them. I'm just checking if I can see a better way to retrieve them. Entities mapper. Not that I see right now. Let's just grab the first or default. If to-do list equals null, return false. Now let's throw new entity. Not found exception. Let's just do a bat request. Bat requests. No, not bat request. Throw new. Yeah, I was like, I cannot throw this, it's not an exception. List not found. We can always fix this later. Wait. Why am I doing this here? I'm sorry, this is the wrong place. This is the right? Yeah, it's here. If a list equals null, return new not found, entry key not found. Good. Not find lists. And no, of course not. Return with throw new exception. If list dot partition key equals principal dot user ID. So only if the partition is equal to your name, as that should be the your list. And later we could add support for admin roles sharing, and we could check the list for that. But for now, let's keep it simple. So let's rename this. Let me see, did anyone... Nope, I only got one response for our Looty. So if you want your loader to be added, check the chats and it will display how you can add your own animation with name. So let's extract this to an interface. Own file, let's open it. And let's move it to the interfaces. If you're new to the chat, or if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat. And now we just go to the startup, and I'm lazy, so just do copy paste, and let's remove the I. So now we should have access to the to-do list. So let's go to the to-do item service. No, to the function to-do. Add to-do item. Where are we working here? I'm not sure, it doesn't really matter. Read only I to do item service. To do so now we have access to this service, so we want the list service. My bad. And of course change this one. I'm not sure why it's completely red, but and we can only do this after we read the body. But the list ID. Nevik says, I need to go. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Nevin, for joining the stream. It's always really appreciated. Hope you had a great stream and have a good night. And I'll hope to see you on Wednesday. So if the user isn't allowed to access the list, we will return an authorized result. And this should be like this. Let's make it cleaner. So this should still work, but now it only works with this list. And let's also check if the data is not null. Data.list ID equals null. Return new bed request. I believe Cookie Slayers joined stream. Welcome. I hope you're doing very well, and if you appreciated the stream, feel free to hit the follow button, and also make sure to say something in the chat. So maybe if you enjoy, what's everybody's opinion about Blazor? So we now did the get list, the add list. Yeah, let's do some cleanup, and now we should also do the delete. You shouldn't be able to delete someone else's table. That would be pretty rude. to do list service. So again, throw new unauthorized result. Of course not throw, sorry, my bad. Return. But we still need to change this one. So let's do list ID and item ID. Item ID. List ID and remove this here. So that should also all work. Let's go to get items. I have to go, but will be next stream. Thanks. Thanks you, Lisa Jojo, for joining, and of course the donation and the amazing animation. Can we watch it again? Do we get it? Almost. Tacos. Burgers. Loaders. Yeah! See you next stream, Lisa Jojo. Hope you had a great night. Good to hear. Bye. So now in this route we also want slash list ID, so you only get the one of the lists. And of course, let's string request, no list ID. If, and let's also add dot the service here, read only I to do list service. The user and the list ID. Return new unauthorized results. But I also wanna do this here. And let's make this function async. That seems pretty good. And now we only need the updates. Let's remove some unused usings. To-do list service. And let's also add the list ID here. And let's also make sure that the user is allowed to do this. So now we probably are getting some errors when we will run this. But we should be able to fix that pretty easy, as everything is in its own servers. So let's open the to-do item service on the to-do. String list ID. Let's add it here. That one should work. We're still using this one. Yes. No. So let's remove that then. List ID. To-do item dot. Let's add the list ID to this. Didn't we already do that? That means there's probably something not correctly there. Let us check the updates. And that is correctly. Oops, we did it here. That's pretty stupid. Just remove most of it. Also this one. Okay, that's pretty stupid. I'm sorry. Let's not do that again. So we just created the service. Data.list ID. That one is working. This one is correctly again. This one can be gone. User.get client principal. And then the give me 1 second, I have and I'm back, sorry for that. So is everybody enjoying the snow today, or is everybody hating it? So now we're just gonna use the user ID again for this. Partition key. Lists, no. User ID. Let's just call it user ID. This one is correct. This one is now correct. This one is still correct. Okay, and let's check. This one is also correct. So this one is correctly done. List ID, that sounds good. This one seems good, and this one doesn't. Function constants. Get items slash. Oh, that's annoying. Let's not do it like that then. Let's do it like this. I know you can fix that, but then it's probably not worth. Or is it? Wait. No, it's the one I thought it was. List ID. We can remove this one. And we want to check if the user has access to the list. If the to-do list user does not have access to the list ID, return new unauthorized results. That seems good. To-do list service. Oh, we already did it here. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to our to-do list service on the Blazor app. To-do item service, sorry. On the Blazor app. And we can also remove the local storage as it isn't used anymore. And that's also correct. We're not implementing everything correctly right now. That's update list ID, delete, a string a list ID, list ID slash ID, string a list ID, so now fix all those functions by adding the list ID, string a list ID, and now let's build and see where it breaks. Let's rename this to list ID. Update item, list ID. Okay. We fixed that. Now our only problem is that we don't know what surface we want to get. So we'll get all the lists that the user has access to. After the break, I'm gonna grab something new to drink, and I'll be back in a few. Hello and welcome back. I hope that everybody grabbed something to drink. And let's continue. So what we wanted to do is check what lists the user has. And we go to, let me show me my Storage Explorer. As I don't want to retrieve all the lists anymore, when someone requests it, but also save it. To do item component, no, list overview. So we're basically gonna store this one here. Private. If to-do list dot equals null, return to-do list. To-do list equals to list. No, I don't like that. So I also prefer this one, as we can remove the adding and deleting it from the component and just do it here. Var list equals get all. So I do this just to make sure that we get all the lists when inserting it. And let's rename this to a list. As otherwise we need to do to list way too many times. And let's also do this here. No, we don't need the update there. But we do want it on the delete. List.remove list ID. Let's change this one to the Todo item. Todo item. Todo item. Sorry, the to-do list. So if you were in the stream and you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. If you want your loader in our applications, feel free to type !loader and you will receive the links to do that. And now we can remove all the and we need to fix this to-do list. So yeah, now it's fixed. So we now also keep the list with us. And that means that when we can display it on the navbar. And also get it on the right places. So to make sure that it works for everybody, I'm just grabbing the component for the to-do list. No, to-do list items. So this is the list ID. And we want to inject the public eye to-do list service. To-do list service. List ID to-do list service dot get all lists awaits first. Why is this not allowed? Ah, like this. And now let's do an if check if list ID equals null. List service add new to-do list. Our to-do list equals, so we want to define it outside as the ID should be set on it after that. List ID let's run it and see if it works. Hello? That seems good. Now let's do a new page with let's do this where here or here. So this is gonna be the page that let's do it here. Todo list items page. I probably want to rename most of it in a future episodes, as the naming isn't always the prettiest. To-do list items page, and let's fix this razor.cs so it's getting stuck behind. To-do list / I hope this works. Overview. Let me see how to do Blazor parameters. Page with parameters. Didn't do this much, so I need to check it. Text. Okay, pretty easy. Oh, wrong one. List ID string. And this should just load the to-do list items component. The list ID. Parameter. Let's see if that works, as it gives us an error, but our build pipeline does not, so that should be fine. Let's check this one. And I want a Roki. To-do list / list ID. Let's do /list as it. Ah, I didn't build, but we didn't close this stack. So now we did it. List. Amazing, now it works. So if you go to home, it just loads the first one in the view, and maybe we'll set an option here later that allows you to change it, but for now that's fine. Enough. Menu.razor, because we also want to know what lists are available. Why is that? I'm not sure how that could even work, but I list service. Prop list to-do list to-do lists. Let's call this home. And let's create a loop behind it around this for list in to-do lists. List.name. List/list.id. Let's see if it works. Nope. It said we weren't allowed to mix it up. So let's make it entirely Blazor or C#. Oh, sorry. Of course, we needed to set the list. to-do list service dot get all lists. Oh, on initialize async. Async task. Async task on. Let me check what I've got the override. I believe I did. Now that works. And let's go to the navbar. Oh. If to-do list does not equal we still have an error. As we can use both lists. And it just uses the one you load in. So let's see if we do. Let's add some logging. Setup. I'm wondering if that's called when it changes. It should, I believe. It's not. Protected override on parameter set async. Let's also reboot this one. And now it runs again. Let everything catch up and let's refresh. Community showcase. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Good, now it's working. So change from on initialize on to set on parameter set async. So if you go to home, you get the first list, you can press the lists and you get all the lists. I believe the delete button doesn't work. So let's check that. If you're enjoying the stream, feel free to hit that follow button as it really helps me out. And if you like and you wanna add one of the fun loaders that you see when we refresh, you should oh, that's why I didn't delete. I had a breakpoint, so it didn't work. But if you want to add the loader, go to the lootyfiles.com and find out the one you like, and then submit it in the form, and then we'll check it out next time. Okay, so it did delete it, but it didn't delete it from the list. So let's see what is happening there. To-do list components. On still maybe it's just a UI bug, so let's call on stage change. This will reload the page for us. Test. That also didn't work, and now it gets deleted. Oh, that's pretty annoying. I don't believe we need that anymore. It was for our drag and drop, but we removed that. It didn't work. And that means we can just do it like probably. Oh, this is the wrong one. Yeah, this is the wrong one. To-do list components. No, what? Oh no, this isn't the correct one. We should go to the overview. Overview components.cs. Welcome. That's pretty weird to do. Oh, we're calling to list. That's kind of useless when it's already a list. That makes a lot of sense, and because that means that it will become a new list and not be the same list it was. Manage list, edit. The update seems to work, the delete seems to work, and the creation seems to work. As I do see there an error as when creating the to-do list. Console.writeLine result. So the problem we're having is that the ID of the list isn't saved. I'm getting an error for getting an error. I'm not really sure why. That seems to work. Hi and hi. Hello. That was null, so let's go to our function. And then the list function, and then the add. It did. Let's clear this. Oh, clear. Let's add X. I'm not sure why that doesn't set to an ID. Let's fix that, and that will probably be the end of the stream for today. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now, as this is a great moment to do so. Let's go to the implementation. Tessie, I was having dinner. What did I miss? Yeah. We added support for multiple lists. So as you can see, you can select the list you want. And if you don't select the list, it grabs the first one, so that would be X. So if we would add high, that works, and you can now also delete them. As I see, it doesn't delete there, but we will work on that later. But the problem we're having right now is that if we do add a new list called new list, the delete function doesn't work, as it didn't save the ID correctly. Let's await it. So the problem is that it tries to check, tries to read it as JSON, but it is just a string. So if D is die. That should work, right? Is type. Let's see. Check if D is string. But of course we also always use the lowercase one. And we're now sure that it is the after the cast of after the await, of course. Cannot convert string to T. Is there no way to do that? Wait, let's just var result equals. Cannot convert. Return string as string. No, not a return string. We check if D is string. Also not a D. So they first cast it to an object. Okay, that's pretty weird, but sure. Super new list. That seems to work good. So amazing. So let's go to our to-do list service. And create something to let everything know when something changed in the list. Let's also fix this. I always forget how to do delegates. Alright, C# event callback or something. Let's copy this. Don't need this, don't need this. to-do list changed. Handler on to-do list change. Let's not make it static. And let's call this method from every method that changes something. That shouldn't be necessary. And now we can go to our nav menu.cs. On initialize async, and we need to define it here. La la la. Can I define that? I can. Nav menu.razor. To-do list service dot. So this should allow, if this doesn't give us an error, it does invalid token in to-do list service. Probably forgot the semicolons too much. That's a new one. But now we should be able to update them. Could not find list. Oh, we're going to an URL that doesn't exist anymore. That is correct, but the error handling isn't correct. So let's refresh here. And wondering why the nav menu nav. Private void on to-do list change. Let's move this here. Of course, it needs to be a function. But that wasn't our problem. and our function isn't running. Let's refresh. So it gets updated, but doesn't update the list. That's pretty weird. What's happened when we do something like this? That's a wait. Shouldn't work. Should work. No, it should be void. Anyone know why the state has changed doesn't work? Updates. To-do lists. Dots. Get hash codes. And let's also call that one here to see if that seems as the same hash codes. Hi. Test. Let's move this to the to-do list service. Just to make sure that we're not getting any other. Hey, we're getting different hash codes. Let's make this a task. So this is probably the problem with the race condition, that this one is already getting called, but this is still null. And then it getting called again, and it's still null. And then the first one returns, and then the second one returns. If get is running equals null, is running dot equals new task. If is running does not equals null. Oh wait. What? No, we don't need to. Oh wait, and then it can be the task. Let's see if we now only get one. And of course we need to start our functions. How many times are we gonna forget that? It's working! Amazing, and they have the same ID. So we did this to make sure that when there's already a response going, as that can take a second or longer or shorter, that we'll just also wait on this, and then the to-do list will probably be set. So this should all work. Let's do a final test, and that will be the stream for today. If you like an animation with your name on it on the waiting screen, feel free to check the exclamation mark loader and insert the one you like. So now we have multiple lists. We have 3 lists now, hi, and let's add test. That all seems to work. When we refresh, this still works. Other ones are empty. And this is the first list. And now we can just delete one. And this also updates with it. So that I believe this was a pretty fun stream. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And hope to see you next stream. Next stream is Wednesday from 7 till 10 p.m. Just the same time as today. And if you can make it Wednesday, Monday, I stream every Monday and Wednesday at the same time. So hope to see you then. I hope you all have a great night. And thank you for watching.